Hey love, I'm Gina, a fitness, nutrition, and self-love coach, helping high-achieving women heal their relationship with food and their bodies so they can finally feel free, strong, and confident in their own skin. If you've ever felt stuck in the cycle of restriction, binging, and body shame, trust me, you are not alone. On this podcast, we're calling out diet culture BS, building your dream body without the obsession, and getting real about what it actually means to love yourself in a world that constantly tells you not to. I've been there. Anorexia, binge eating, body hate, you name it, I've lived it. And now I help women just like you find food freedom, feel sexy in their skin, and take their damn power back. So get ready, because the Fit Without Obsession podcast starts now. Okay, today's topic might ruffle some feathers, but I think it's way past time that we actually address it and talk about it. And the big question here is, can you want to lose weight and still say that you're healing your relationship with food? Because here's the thing, some people will tell you absolutely not, that if you want to lose weight, you're still stuck in diet culture, that the only way to heal is to give up all body goals forever. But I'm here to tell you something different, because for me, I feel like I was made out to be still stuck in diet culture if I wanted to lose weight. I felt like it was toxic. I felt like I was in the wrong. I felt like I must still have an eating disorder. I can't have a great relationship with food if I'm still having these thoughts. I remember being deep into my healing, and I was really doing the mindset work, releasing all the food rules, like eating bagels, eating all the things that I had not for a long time, and I was welcoming food back in, but still there was this voice in my head whispering, but like, what if we can lose 5 pounds still? And immediately when those thoughts would come up, I would feel so ashamed. And I just assumed I was doing everything wrong. I wasn't healed enough, if I still cared about how I looked. But the thing is healing is not black and white. And it's time that we bring some nuance to the conversation here, because I definitely am not going to say that losing weight in a very unhealthy way is possible while you're healing your relationship with food. That's not healthy, right? But we're human. We're allowed to want to change ourselves, right? We're allowed to have goals. We're allowed to want to be healthier versions of ourselves. And if losing weight is a part of that equation, that's completely okay. And we're going to dive in today just showing whether it's really okay to want to lose weight while you're healing. We're also going to talk about how to tell where that desire is coming from, and if it's coming from a good place or an unhealthy place, and also how to hold space for body goals without slipping back into that obsession. So the first thing we're going to kind of dive into is the inner conflict that no one talks about when you're healing your relationship with food and you're still trying to push through some of those old thoughts of, wanting to adapt and change your body. And I have so many clients come to me saying, I want to heal my relationship with food, but I also want to be better in my body. Like, I want to feel better in my body. And they feel like they have to pick one. And it's because so much of the conversation that we see, again, in this healing space is that you do have to pick one, that you can't have a body that is fit and strong and, maybe is a little bit smaller than the one you have now, and also like have this great relationship with food where you can eat all foods with no guilt and, no regret. Like, we have to look at it this way, that it's not food freedom or fitness goals. It's not self-love or body composition. What if you don't actually have to choose? You're allowed to want more for your body without hating it first. You truly are. Again, the thing that we really need to get across here is that we just cannot lose the weight in an unhealthy manner, have that an approach in an unhealthy manner. That is when it is going to conflict with us truly healing. So one thing that can really help us through this and to decipher if it's coming from a healthy place or an unhealthy place is figuring out where the desire is coming from. Because there's a huge difference between wanting to lose weight because you think you're not good enough versus wanting weight loss because you want to feel stronger, healthier, or more confident. I had a client come to me, and she is a dancer, and she wanted to lose a little weight so that she could perform better, so that she could get in and out of the floor better, that she could have better jumps. Like, it was not about her wanting to lose weight because she felt like she had to be the skinny dancer on stage. No, she actually, was recovered from her eating disorder and was at a very healthful place. We had worked to get to that place. So we investigated the conversation around weight loss and actually found that it really helped her feel better in her skin, emotionally, physically, and just in that performance kind of venue for herself. And one thing I want you to do to figure out where the desire is coming from for you is ask yourself, is this coming from shame or is it coming from self-respect? And also tune in and think, am I choosing worth or am I honoring my values? Because the thing is, I will definitely harp on the negativity that we face in the healthcare system when if you maybe weigh a little bit more, a lot of doctors will just point you in the direction of like, all your symptoms will go away once you lose the weight. You really need to lose the weight. Your BMI is too high. And we have this negative conversation about it, right? In the medical field, a lot of times, which is a sad truth. And I'm not saying every doctor is like that, but the thing is there's a reason that they're kind of pushing you to lose that weight, right? Because really, our bodies are not meant to hold on to like excess fat. They're not meant to hold on to excess weight. A lot of that can come from, yes, overconsumption of food or maybe lack of exercise, but also it can come from this binge restrict cycle that we might be stuck in right now because we're trying to be overly perfect. It can come from stress of life and putting too many high expectations on yourself, having that perfectionist mindset. Literally, stress can cause you to gain weight, right? So when we find a body that feels good for us, it might be smaller, and that's okay, because really the whole goal here and the whole goal of healing, the whole goal of what we're working towards together in this podcast is getting to your healthiest true self, right? And that might look different than what you think, right? So we do need to investigate, like, what are you thinking when it comes to weight loss? Is it because you feel like you need to lose weight to be worthy, or you need to lose weight to be liked, or you think losing weight will fix all your problems? If it's coming from that, then we don't want to focus on weight loss here. But if you're at a really great place, or you're at a place where you are healing your relationship with food, maybe you're not fully there yet, but you're feeling positively, you're feeling more open, you're welcoming things, you're pushing yourself, you're finding self-love, and you still also want to lose the weight, like, that's okay. And I want you to know that and not feel bad about that. Because the thing is, when it's really a desire that is rooted in fear, punishment, or desperation, that's going to lead you right back to burnout. But if it's rooted in care and alignment and peace, that's a whole different story. That's a whole different approach. You don't need to kill the desire to lose weight. Like, it's fine to have that desire. You need to heal the desperation. You need to understand that, like, weight loss is not going to be the fix of all your problems. It's not going to be what finally makes you love yourself. It's not going to be what makes you accomplish all your other goals. It can be a part of your life. It can be something you're working towards, but it needs to come from a place of love. And now we need to also understand that healing is not all or nothing. We already talked about how toxic it can be to get stuck in this all or nothing thinking. And it's funny because if we're someone that was stuck in that before, even though we might be healing, even though we might be like exploring more food choices, even though we might be giving ourselves more rest days, sometimes we can still think of it in terms of like, oh, I'm doing amazing, or oh, I'm sucking at healing. I've had a ton of my clients go through the healing journey and they're at amazing places now, but along their journey, there definitely were moments where they were like, wait, I literally have done nothing right. I'm failing at healing. I'm not in a good spot. Like, oh my gosh, I'm still thinking negatively about food, but that's just a blip on their journey, right? Like, healing, again, is not this perfect linear path. It's not all or nothing. And it also doesn't mean that you stop caring. It means that you stop punishing yourself for caring. So if you want weight loss, okay, that might be something that's still going to happen when you're healing, but we can't punish ourselves for wanting that weight loss. We can't punish ourselves with the mechanisms that we're using to get to that weight loss. You can want to love your body and also want to feel better in it. You can also work on acceptance and still have aesthetic goals. It's totally fair. That's the whole premise behind my program, Fit Without Obsession, is that I help you heal your relationship with food while you're building your dream physique, right? We talked about that in one of the previous podcast episodes. You can also hold the tension of wanting more while being kind to yourself now. And that's not being hypocritical. That's, again, you just being human. You are allowed to want to change and adapt. We're going to have negative thoughts about our body. We're going to have negative thoughts about food, even if we're in the most healed place. We just need to make sure that we are not letting those negative thoughts take over and be the driving factor here, be the driving force. And honestly, pretending that you don't care that you want weight loss when you do, like, that's not healing. That's actually self-abandonment. We need to face that thought head on, you know, this weight loss goal that you might have. Or maybe it's not even weight loss. When I have this conversation. Maybe it's that you want to be more muscular, or you want to just change your physique, you want to get rid of some body fat, you want to body recomp, whatever it is. Again, you're allowed to want to change and adapt your body. But we really need to make sure that when we're pursuing this goal, we're doing it without losing our peace. So what does that actually look like? That's what we're going to dive into. And we're going to talk about how to hold a weight loss desire without spiraling back into diet culture. And here's a few things that I recommend and where I would start. And that is, firstly, number one, I would detach morality. So your worth is not tied to a number on the scale, ever, period. Literally point blank, period. No matter what, you are worthy. I don't care if you're 100 pounds heavier. I don't care if you're a little bit lighter. It doesn't matter what you weigh. You are a worthy person no matter what. You have a beautiful personality no matter what. You are a unique, beautiful, amazing person that we need on this earth no matter what that scale number says. So again, you can want that weight loss, but we need to detach the morality from it, because if you step on that scale tomorrow and you're working towards a weight loss goal, if it's up a little bit, you're going to feel like the shittiest person in the world. You're going to feel like a failure. You're going to feel like you're not worthy, right? If you don't have this detached morality mindset, if you're actually attaching your weight to your morality, it's going to be this negative cascading process that's literally just going to send you back to where you started, where we don't want to be, right? If you're healing, if you're feeling good in your skin, if you're starting to find the self-love, we need to work on making sure that it's the forefront of our approach and not letting that fall on the back burner. And now number two, another thing that I would recommend is I want you to focus on behaviors, not outcomes. So instead of making sure that you're hitting a certain weight loss goal every week and you're doing, X amount of calories burned on the treadmill, we're not focusing on like the actual statistical number evidence here. I want you to actually focus on the behaviors that's going to get you to weight loss maybe, but also just get you to your healthier self. Because again, if weight loss is your goal, it needs to be because you're trying to become a healthy version of yourself, not because you think you need it for whatever reason to fit in, whatever it might be. So instead of focusing on those outcomes, focus more on those behaviors that are going to really help you feel your best. So like nourishing meals, strength training, sleeping well, joyful movement, the things that you're doing every single day that we really want to build consistency in and build a habit in, no matter if your goal is to lose weight, to maintain weight, to gain weight, whatever it is, no matter what, those habits are going to be leading you on the path of health and things that we're going to want to focus on. And now number three, the thing I really want you to focus on now too, is staying open to change. Your goals might evolve as you heal, and that's okay. So it's important to check in with how the goal makes you feel emotionally. You might feel like you want weight loss now, and then come 2 months down the line, you will recognize like, wait, I actually love the way I feel on my skin now. This is a heavier weight than I thought. I actually think my new goal is to maintain here and to just make sure that I'm pouring love into myself. Because what I'll say is like, for me, when I was going through, obviously I had my anorexia phase, and then I binged and I gained a ton of weight, and I was at this heavier weight. I wanted to lose weight to get back to where I felt more comfortable. And again, I was doing that in a healthful way, which is the whole point. You can get back down to a weight that you might feel more at home in. Because to me, when I had gained weight, there's nothing wrong with gaining weight, but I didn't feel good in my skin, just like as far as my health was concerned. Not, oh my gosh, people are going to judge me, and I did obviously like feel a little bit of that, but that was another part of my story I dove into, right? And that was something I had to break free from. But even once I broke free from that and I was feeling confident, I was feeling good, I still weighed more again than I was typically used to. So I set off on a weight loss goal, and I was kind of trying to get back to maybe a previous number that I had in my head, where it was before my full-blown eating disorder, but probably still was a smaller weight than I needed to be at. So when I was losing weight and I was still trying to get down to that number, and I kind of reached a place where I felt good, I was kind of emotionally torn, like, wait, I really wanted to get down to that number. I could still do it, but I actually feel good now. What should I do? And I, again, reevaluated those goals, and I stayed open to that change. And I recognized, wait, I don't actually want to even be at that lower weight. I'm actually feeling very comfortable and feeling very confident at this middle weight here. And now number four, the thing that I want you to do as we pursue goals around weight loss without losing your peace is to be honest with yourself. So are you trying to shrink yourself to feel enough? Or are you choosing goals that align with your values and joy? So again, if it's coming from a place of low self-esteem, of low self-worth, of body hate, of low confidence, any of those things, if that is why you want to lose weight, I'm going to tell you right now, please do not go on a weight loss journey. You are not ready. And that's not to say that you might not be ready in the future. It's crazy for me to say because I am recovered from an eating disorder, and so many people will say you can never lose weight after an eating disorder. I've heard this many times. I've heard this from people that have recovered themselves, just people that know a lot about eating disorders. And for me, my own experience, I think it is very possible for you to lose weight or change your body and have physical goals even after an eating disorder. But what I will say is it is very tricky, and you have to be very, very careful and cautious and know yourself and know your triggers and make sure that no matter what, you're monitoring yourself to not fall into those old habits. So if you can be honest with yourself and really, truly find, even if you didn't have an eating disorder previously, but maybe you're just struggling with your relationship with food, if you can find this place where you're feeling positive, you're feeling optimistic, like, yes, I can continue this healing path, I can continue this healing journey, I feel ready to enter into this goal of weight loss, then you can totally pursue that. And also remember, you don't owe anyone an explanation for what you want, but you personally deserve to know the truth behind it. So you don't need to tell anyone why you're losing weight or, that you're okay to lose weight, especially you might have people feel a little bit worried. I know for me, going through my healing journey and obviously having, full-blown anorexia, that was very concerning to my friends and family. So I think that they were a little bit more on high alert when I maybe was trying to adapt and change my body and maybe track macros and track calories, which I don't do now, right? Like that, I think it's always good to also recognize that that is a short-term strategy, not something you should be doing for a lifetime, right? Because it definitely can have a lot of negative side effects and can trigger a lot of past behaviors. But I felt like I had been honest with myself and I felt like I had myself under control, right? So you just need to make sure that as long as you know the truth behind that, as long as you know you can trust yourself, then it is totally okay to want to go through this. And the one thing that I also want you to do as we kind of go and close out this episode is I want you to take some time to really journal on these questions. So if this episode is hitting home, if you're feeling like you want weight loss, but you want to make sure it's coming from a healthful place and that you can still heal your relationship with food at the same time, some of these questions I want you to reflect on are, why do I want to lose weight? And definitely take time, like write this down right now. You can write in your phone app if you're listening as you're walking or something like that. Write it down, even listen back to this later if you need to remind yourself. But I want you to take separate time to really dive in, give thoughtful time to each of these answers. And that is, why do I want to lose weight? What is that stemming from? Is it because you want to lose weight so that you can run around more with your kids in the future and feel healthful as you age? Do you want to lose weight because you're dealing with some health issues and you know that if you were at a slightly smaller weight, that might actually help with those issues? Do you want to lose weight because you feel really great about your relationship with food? You're no longer binging, you're no longer restricting, and you just want to actually see if you can commit to these physical goals. Next question I want you to ponder is, what do I believe will be different if I do? So if the answer is something like, I believe people will like me more, I believe I will like myself more, etc., then that is not why we want to go into this weight loss journey, right? So if it's something like, I think my quality of life will be improved, I think I'll be able to maybe chase after this physical job that I want, but I'm too scared to now because I don't feel like I'm in good enough shape to be able to take on the labor that job is going to entail. So really ponder, what do I believe will be different if I do? And then I also want you to think about, can I pursue this goal from a place of self-love? And if the answer is no, even if it's maybe, we're not doing it, guys. We're not freaking doing it, because as you know, I am 100% all about healing your relationship with food in your body. And this episode is not meant to be like, oh, Gina just doesn't care if I lose weight and I can focus on that. I can go back into self-destructive behaviors. No. We obviously haven't been listening if that's what we took away from this. I want you to make sure that no matter what, at the end of the day, you are literally always making sure that you are doing this from a place of self-love. And again, we're constantly reevaluating those goals we're going through, right? We talked about that. So the thing is, if you start to feel like, wait, I'm falling into old patterns, wait, I'm not able to actually really tap into that self-love that I was finding, then stop the weight loss goal. This is not like a decision that it's all or nothing or forever or not. Like, you can change this. You can try weight loss for a month if that's what's important to you right now. And if it's not feeling suited to where you are right now in your healing journey, then we can take a pause on that, right? And the last question I want you to journal on is, who am I if I don't change my body? Because really, you are worthy now. You are worthy today. You're worthy tomorrow. You're worthy, like I said, heavier than now, lighter than now. Who are you if you don't change your body? Because really, you just need to tap into who you are at the core. Weight loss is not going to fix any of the issues that you are feeling at the core. We need to get down to the root of those issues, right? If we can continue to heal the root of those issues and go towards this weight loss goal, you can totally do both. Now, I need you to know this. Healing your relationship with food doesn't mean giving up all body goals. It really just means unlearning the belief that you're only lovable when you look a certain way. Because that is not true. You are lovable all of the time. You were lovable the moment you stepped on this earth. You're lovable now. Maybe it's at your heaviest weight. Maybe you're at your lightest weight. Maybe this episode to you, just know it doesn't even have to be weight loss focused. You might even be trying to gain weight right now, or you might even be trying to maintain your weight, which feels really hard after years of dieting and ebbing and flowing with your weight. This whole entire episode is just focused on body composition changes, right? And you're lovable no matter what. You're lovable no matter what weight you're at. You know, healing means reclaiming your power and choosing what you want without fear, without guilt, without shame. There should be no shame around this. You can love yourself now and still want to grow. You can still want to change. That is okay. You can honor your healing and still pursue that weight loss, that change, that adaptation you might be looking for. You don't have to pick one. Healing isn't about giving up on your body. It's about finally coming home to it. And I really just want you to remember that there is no shame you should feel for wanting to change your body. It's okay to want to change your body. We're human beings. We just need to really tap in and figure out the why behind wanting to change your body. Why are you there? Why do you want to have a different physique? And just know that, again, if it's coming from a place of self-hate, that is never going to be a goal that we are going to want to act on. We always need to make sure that we are treating ourselves with kindness and compassion and care in every single thing that we do. And I just hope that this episode showed you that healing, again, is not black and white. It's not all or nothing. We can want different things along this journey. And it's just really important, no matter what stage you're at in your healing journey, that you are consistently checking in with yourself and making sure that you are not falling into any old toxic behaviors. As long as you do that, you're going to be on a great path. And I can't wait to continue to lead you on that journey. Thank you so much for tuning into the Fit Without Obsession podcast. If this episode helped you heal, grow, or just feel a little less alone, go ahead and hit the follow button so that you never miss a moment of this journey. And if you loved it, share it on your stories and tag me at @thefitbean_. I seriously love seeing what resonates. Sharing this podcast helps more women step out of a session and into their power. And that ripple effect starts with you. And if you're ready for deeper support, check the show notes for ways that we can work together. Just remember, eat the pasta, wear the shorts, and love the hell out of your life. You deserve it always. Talk soon.